Now, let us discuss the role of hormones in initiating reproductive functions. But before that, let us understand the concept of hormones. What are hormones and where are they produced? Hormones are the chemical substances which coordinate the activities of living organisms and also their growth. Now, what is the meaning of coordinate the activities of living organisms? It means organizing the various activities going on inside our body. For example, let us take a boy. A boy enters the adolescent age, then the first visible change is sudden increase in height, followed by other changes like appearance of facial hair, then Adam's apple in the neck, and so on, which occurs in sequence. They do not occur all at a time. All these are controlled by hormones. The hormones involved in the development and control of reproductive organs and secondary sexual characteristics are called sex hormones. The two common sex hormones are testosterone and estrogen. Hormones are produced by endocrine glands. Now, what are endocrine glands? A gland which does not have a duct and secretes its product, that is hormones, directly into the bloodstream is called an endocrine gland. For example, pituitary gland, thyroid gland and adrenal glands. These endocrine glands do not have any duct or tube, so they are called ductless gland. On the other hand, a gland which secretes its product into a duct or tube is called an exocrine gland. For example, salivary glands which secrete enzyme in through the tube, and sweat glands and sebaceous glands are some more examples of exocrine glands. They have duct or tube. But there are some examples of glands which are both endocrine as well as exocrine glands. They behave as both endocrine glands as well as exocrine glands. For example, pancreas, testes and ovaries function as endocrine glands as well as exocrine glands. Hormones do not act at the place where they are formed. They act at different target sites. For example, testosterone is released by the gland called testis. Okay, and because of this testosterone, the appearance of facial hair, then Adam's apple, etc. are seen, which is found in the face, and the hormone is not produced in the face, it is produced in the testis. The onset of puberty is controlled by hormones. The testes make male sex hormones called testosterone and the ovaries make female sex hormone called estrogen. The production of these sex hormones is controlled or is under the control of another hormone called gonadotropic hormone secreted by pituitary gland situated in the brain. Testosterone hormone performs the following functions. Number 1, it produces male secondary sexual characteristics in boys at puberty such as deeper voice, growth of facial hair like mustache and beard, broad shoulders and chest, Adam's apple and more muscles. Number 2, testosterone hormone causes the growth and development of male sex organs at puberty, and it causes growth spurt in boys at puberty. Now, what is growth spurt? A growth spurt is a time of rapid changes in body characteristics like growth and weight. The hormones from pituitary gland stimulate ovaries to release the female sex hormone called estrogen at the onset of puberty in girls. Estrogen hormone performs the following functions. Number 1. It produces female secondary sexual characteristics in girls at puberty, such as shrill voice, development of breasts, and broader hips. Number 2. Estrogen hormones causes the growth and development of female sex organs at puberty. Number 3. Estrogen hormones bring about the monthly preparation of uterus for pregnancy. Now let us learn the reproductive phase of life in humans. Adolescents become capable of reproduction at puberty, when their testes and ovaries begin to produce gametes, that is sperms and eggs. Adolescent boys grow and become men. Adolescent girls grow and become women. In men, the capacity to produce male gametes or sperms usually lasts throughout life. But in women, the capacity to produce female gametes, that is eggs or ova, lasts only up to 45 to 50 years of age. Due to this, the reproductive phase of life in men or males lasts much longer than in women or females. We will now discuss the reproductive phase of life in human females in detail. In females or women, the reproductive phase of life begins at puberty, that is 10 to 12 years of age, and generally lasts till the age of approximately 45 to 50 years. With the onset of puberty, the eggs or ova begin to mature in the ovaries of a woman. One mature egg or ovum is released by one of the ovaries of the woman once in about 28 to 30 days. It means once in about 28 to 30 days, one egg or ovum is released by one of the ovaries. During this period, the inner lining of uterus grows and becomes thick and spongy. That means before the release of egg, the inner lining of uterus grows and becomes thick and spongy and prepares itself to receive the fertilized egg. Look at the figure 6. So, in case the fertilization of egg cell occurs by a sperm, then the fertilized egg cell begins to divide to form an embryo, and this will occur in the uterus. And this embryo then gets embedded in a thick uterus lining. This results in pregnancy, which ultimately leads to the birth of a baby. Now, in case the egg is not fertilized, then what will happen? Let us describe what happens if fertilization of egg cell does not take place. If fertilization does not occur due to lack of sperm, then the egg released by the ovary dies within a few days, and the thick lining breaks down because it is no longer required. Since the thick uterus lining contains a lot of blood vessels, therefore the breaking down or disintegration of uterus lining produces blood along with other tissues. This blood and other tissues come out of vagina and of woman in the form of a bleeding. The bleeding from the uterus, which occurs in a woman or mature girl every month if the egg cell has not been fertilized, is called menstrual flow or menstruation. The first menstruation begins at puberty, when the girl or woman is around 10 to 12 years of age. The first occurrence of menstruation at puberty is called menarche. On the other hand, the permanent stoppage of menstruation in a woman is called menopause, which occurs at the age of 45 to 50 years. What happens due to menopause? A woman stops ovulating at menopause and can no longer become pregnant. So, we can say that the reproductive life of women starts at menarche and ends at menopause. Now, let us learn how the sex chromosomes determine the sex of a baby. Dear students, we all know that chromosomes are present inside the nucleus of every cell of the human body, and they are called the units of inheritance. We have read in the previous chapter cell structure and function, isn't it? Dear students, please note that all the human beings have 23 pairs of chromosomes in the nuclei of their human body cells. 23 pairs of chromosomes means 46 chromosomes, isn't it? Out of this 23 pairs of chromosomes, one pair of chromosomes, that is 2 chromosomes, are called sex hormones. They are named X chromosomes and Y chromosomes. Therefore, there are two types of sex chromosomes, X chromosomes and Y chromosomes. A female has only X chromosomes in all her gametes, that is eggs or ova. Understand? This means that all the female gametes called eggs or ova will have only X chromosomes. On the other hand, a male has X chromosomes as well as Y chromosomes in male gametes called sperms. So, the sperm may contain either X chromosome or Y chromosomes. So, how this X chromosomes and Y chromosomes helps in the determination of the sex of a baby, let us learn. If a sperm carrying X chromosome fertilizes an egg cell or ovum which carries X chromosome, then the zygote formed will have XX combination of sex chromosomes, due to which the child born will be a girl or female. If a sperm carrying Y chromosome fertilizes an egg cell or ovum which carries X chromosome, then the zygote formed will have XY combination of sex chromosomes, due to which the child born will be a boy or male. Thus, the sex of unborn child or unborn baby depends on whether the zygote formed at the time of fertilization has XX combination of sex chromosomes or XY combination of sex chromosomes. XX combination of sex chromosomes makes the child a girl, whereas XY combination of sex chromosomes makes the child a boy. So, please note that it is the sperm of man which determines the sex of the child.